It's your girl, Soft Rain. Real talk, no filter, no disguise. Every headline, I'm breaking it live. From the streets to the pressure of up top, we see it all, yeah, we connect the dots. Weekly, right, yeah, we run it down. Truth hit different when it wear a crown. No fluff, no cap, just facts in sight. Welcome to the weekly rain report. Let's get into it tonight.
Disclaimer: this broadcast is intended for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. All topics and statements are based on publicly available information, including news reports, social media content, and third-party sources, which may include allegations or unverified claims. The views expressed are opinions and should not be interpreted as confirmed facts. This content is not intended to harm, defame, misrepresent any individual, organization, or entity. Viewer discretion is advised. What's good, YouTube? It is your girl, Soft Rain, and this is the Weekly Rain Report. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to break down your current events. Just a recap of what's going on or what went on this week in the news. This is a place where I slow the headlines down and cut through the noise and talk about what these stories really mean for our lives, our families, and our communities. So, of course, I have 4 segments for y'all. Radar Under Investigation, where I break down the stories, making headlines and deeper questions nobody's asking. Policy and Pressure, where I break down some of the laws, policies, and national conversations shaping everyday life. And Hometown Rain, because what's happening right here in my hometown communities matters too. And of course, I end the show with a soul reset where I take a moment to breathe, reflect, and heal and pour back into ourselves. So whether you're watching live, catching the replay, or just checking in after a long week, go ahead, settle in, drop where you're watching from in the chat, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and share the stream with somebody who loves real conversations. So I got I think I got about 5 interesting things that happened this week that we're going to recap. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hold on one second. Welcome everybody on here. I see the numbers are jumping. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. I go live every Sunday around this time. I actually ended up being in here early tonight, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I got on here early this time. So make sure y'all hit that like button. I see the numbers are jumping. I'm going to first roll into my first segment, which is Radar Under Investigation. So let me do that. I thank y'all for being in here too. No comments just yet, but I see y'all in here watching. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Joe Jet, I see you popped in. Hey Joe, appreciate you being here. I got some good stuff for us tonight to look forward to. Let's see. Let me do this, y'all. You know what? There it is, y'all. There it is. There we go. I got it. So for my first Radar Under Investigation story, I'm headed down to Tampa, Florida, where what started as a teen gathering turned into what police are calling a major safety concern. So this story really raises the bigger question because these teen takeovers, are they harmless fun gone wrong, or are cities losing control of our youth gatherings? It's been a big thing across Chicago, I think New York, and a couple of other places as well. But down in Tampa, according to police, there were 22 people between the ages of 12 and 21 that were arrested after a large crowd gathered at a downtown park near the waterfront. Authorities say the scene escalated very quickly. fights, disruptions, safety concerns, and a major police presence involving patrol officers on bike units and even air support to get things under control. So this just wasn't like disorderly conduct. Police say arrests included allegations involving fighting, drug possession, resisting officers, unlawful possession of a weapon. So authorities also reportedly recovered 2 firearms and seized a vehicle in connection to the disturbance. So I'm going to get into the news clip. Let me get the news clip pulled up for y'all. I think I have 2 news clips for y'all. Hold on one second. Let me pull that news clip up. Boom, there it goes. Share my screen. I want to do this one right here. Okay. Here's what happened down in Tampa over the weekend. All right.
Check it out. A scary scene last night. Breaking this midday. Tampa police say 22 people ages 12 to 21 arrested after a teen takeover at Curtis Hickson Park. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday at midday. I'm Jenny Dean. Of course, officers say a large group gathered last night, causing disruptions, fights, and safety concerns in the park. This video they're just sending us, Tampa police saying they responded with patrol officers, bike units, and even air service in order to restore order. These arrests include charges like fighting, drug possession, resisting officers, and unlawful possession of a weapon. Police say they also seized 2 guns and a vehicle that was connected to this disturbance. With summer approaching, the department says it's also pointing families toward programs aimed at giving teens safe places to gather. We're going to continue to follow this story as we learn more, and of course, we'll bring you updates.
Yeah, so this is the next video I came across too as well. It more so points towards the parents and the parents being responsible for what their teens are doing. So we'll play this one and we'll get moving along.
Nearly 24 people are facing charges after a large gathering in downtown Tampa. It wasn't just that they were gathering, but they were what they were accused of doing that led to the charges they now face. News Channel 8's Victoria Lucas is live at Curtis Hickson Park in downtown Tampa, where police made those arrests. Victoria, what have you learned?
Ty, the whole ordeal was caught on officer body-worn camera video, and authorities say the ages of those arrested are between 12 and 21, and they now face charges for fighting and carrying drugs and guns on them illegally. Pulling and punching each other.
If they can return to their vehicle, we need somewhere to put these 10-15s in.
These are just some of the actions caught on Tampa police body-worn camera video at Curtis Hickson Park Friday night around 9:30. Aerial footage here gives you a bird's eye view. Police say they arrested 22 people from the ages of 12 to 21 who gathered at the park, causing fights and other disruptions.
Nothing good comes after a certain time of night.
Luis Martinez says he has 2 children and believes stronger supervision may help prevent future incidents like these.
Parenting has lacked over the years. There's too many kids controlling their parents, not parents controlling their kids.
Freddie Barton, executive director of youth violence prevention organization Safe and Sound Hillsborough, agrees.
What 12-year-old has the right to say, I'm getting ready to go hang out and go God knows where, and their parent doesn't know where they are?
Tampa City Police Chief Lee Burkaw also touched on parenting regarding this incident, saying in part, parents need to know who their children are and who they are with. Unfortunately, the poor decisions made by these 22 individuals last night could have lasting consequences that will follow them well into adulthood. Authorities say they confiscated 2 guns and a car from the incident. Barton says his organization is constantly reminding the youth of this.
When that bullet leaves that chamber, it has no name on it. Understand that life is precious. We have to understand that if we do not address the home environment, if we do not address the community environment, we're going to hit the reset button every single day.
Powerful words there. And police say these takeovers are becoming common as the summer is approaching. And that's why they want to help keep the youth engaged and away from any unlawful temptation. So they have programs for that, which you can find at our website, WFLA.com. Live in downtown Tampa tonight, I'm Victoria Lucas, 8 on your side.
Yeah, y'all. So they down there causing all that ruckus down there in Tampa. Parents, we need to do better. We need to know where our teens are, what they're doing, who they're with, who they're hanging with, what kind of social media they're consuming, what kind of music they're consuming. It's crazy. These teen takeovers, they've been popping up across city nationwide, often unorganized through social media, group chats, and viral meetup culture. For some people, it seems as if it's just something to do. But critics argue that these gatherings can quickly spiral into dangerous situations when there's little supervision, crowd control, or planning. With summer right around the corner, police say that they're trying to push families towards safer youth programs and supervised spaces for teens to connect. But the bigger question is, y'all, are communities failing teens by not giving them enough spaces to gather, or does accountability still have to come first? But somewhere between like freedom, fun, safety, the line clearly got crossed. So make sure y'all drop y'all take in the chat, especially if you're catching this on the rewatch. Are teen takeovers being overblown, or are they becoming a real public safety issue? So yeah, let me see. I got some comments. What's up, Super Mac 333? Drop them umbrellas in the chat. I know you from chat 333 over there with Classic, but drop them umbrellas for me over here on this side. I don't mind it. Jojet said a 12-year-old out there with Dirty Mike and the boys. I'm telling you. And they wonder why we got these kids and these preteens growing up too fast. They hanging with the wrong age group. So I do have another wow. Okay, hold on one second, y'all. I do have another story, but it's not in my notes. Let me see. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Wow. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, here it is. I got y'all. I'm back. Jojet, what Joe said? Joe said we had Sun Dogs program as a kid. The kids need a purpose or they will do their own thing. Absolutely. If you got a bodyguard, it's too late. I'm telling you. So this next story, though, that I have for my segment, Radar under investigation, is one that sounds like something that's out of a crime, like a crime documentary or something that you watch late night on TV while you're eating your popcorn. So what started as a dating app meetup ended up in a murder investigation. And now investigators are trying to piece together what really happened behind closed doors. Police in Phoenix, Arizona say a 52-year-old man met up with a woman he connected with on a dating app for what was supposed to be their first in-person date. According to investigators, something felt off immediately. Authorities say the victim allegedly texted friends and family during the date saying he believed he was being catfished and was trying to end the night early. Authorities say the victim allegedly texted, I already got that. Now, despite that, police say the two reportedly continued to go to multiple locations, including a dispensary, before eventually returning to the victim's apartment complex. And this is where the case takes a dark turn. Investigators say surveillance video, I can never say that word, y'all, video allegedly shows the woman getting into the victim's SUV. Court documents claim the victim stepped in front of the vehicle, appearing to try to stop her from leaving. And the prosecutors alleged that she accelerated and said the man was hit, dragged underneath his vehicle, and later pronounced dead. So prosecutors reportedly described the footage as appearing intentional, like she intentionally ran him over. Police say the woman later fled to Flagstaff, where she was eventually arrested days later at a Denny's restaurant. She reportedly told investigators she couldn't remember parts of the night. Now, before social media turns into another instant guilty or innocent debate, there are still unanswered questions. So was this a moment of panic? Was it an intentional act, or did something happen during that date that we still don't know? So I have the news clip for that one too. Let me see. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let's see. It's taking me to all of them, y'all. Hold on. There we go. Let me rewind it back.
Phoenix police say a meetup off a dating app ended with cold-blooded murder. A woman accused of running over her date with his SUV is now in jail.
It took 4 days to track her down at a Denny's in Flagstaff. That's where Mason Carroll joins us live. And Mason, this is a wild story.
Thank you, Dean. Sir.
Yes, it is. Now, we don't know all the details about this, but we do know that the victim knew something was wrong right away. As police say, he texted his friends and family that he believed he was being catfished. Now, this was just hours before his date is accused of running him over with his own car and then fleeing the scene. That woman was arrested here in the Flagstaff, and she claims she doesn't remember anything. What started as a date turned into a homicide investigation after police say 30-year-old Michaela Bahi ran over 52-year-old Norris Taft in the Phoenix parking lot. The two met on the dating app Moco Space, and Taft picked up Bahi this past Sunday for their first in-person date. Right away, court documents show Taft texted family members that he had been catfished and was trying to end the date. But the pair visited multiple locations, including a marijuana dispensary. They went back to Taft's apartment complex, where surveillance video later reportedly showed Bahi getting into Taft's car. The documents state Taft then stepped in front of the car, trying to get her to stop. That's when she hit him with the car and dragged him beneath it. Prosecutors say it looked intentional.
There is strong evidence in this case of surveillance footage that captured the defendant running over the victim. It certainly looked like it was intentional as she was accelerating, even though the victim was in front of the car with his hands up.
According to police, Bahi fled the scene and Taft was pronounced dead at a local hospital. The next day, Bahi took a shuttle from Phoenix to Flagstaff. She was arrested by Flagstaff police at this Denny's on Wednesday.
Yeah, this is a murder case, and the defendant certainly has incentive to flee based on the lengthy prison sentence that she's facing.
Court documents state Bahi admitted to being with Taft, but she couldn't remember anything that happened between leaving the dispensary and the next morning. She's now charged with second-degree murder, leaving the scene of an accident, and theft of means of transportation. Her mother lives in Flagstaff, which may be the reason why she fled to the high country.
So I want to figure out power of attorney for my daughter because she is 6 years old and she is with my mother in Flagstaff.
And the prosecutors labeled Michaela Bahi as a flight risk, so she's currently being held on a $1 million cash bond. Live in Flagstaff, Mason Carroll for Arizona.
Y'all, this is wild. You can't even do online dating anymore because you're a risk to lose your life. And he said that she was cat. Let's see what she looked like. What? I wonder how he was catfish. Maybe she had a bunch of filters on. Y'all think she had a bunch of filters on? That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Yeah. That man lost his life over a date. She was wild. Let me close this out, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so what y'all think? Did y'all think something went down that we don't really know? He went looking for companionship and never made it home. So has dating app culture become too dangerous? Or are stories like this still the exception? Do you think this happened more than just a little bit? Hey, Mrs. V. She said, good evening, Rain and Chat. Good evening, Mrs. V. I've been catching some of your lives listening in. Georgette said, hey, B, is she? And Georgette said, yeah, never get in front of a moving vehicle. I know. Yeah. Georgette said Moko is freaky. That's where he messed up at. You think so? Or you don't think he was genuinely trying to find love? And Georgette said she probably had an Ariana Grande picture. So said online dating was never safe. Georgette said he was looking for love and she was looking for a whip. Yeah. That's wow. I got some of this stuff still up there from last live. Hey, April. That's what's up. So the next segment I have, y'all, is my policy and pressure segment. And I'm going to talk about the Hantavirus. So let me get that pulled up. All right. So if y'all have been under a rock, there has a cruise ship over, hold on, y'all. I do not have my stuff together. Let's see. Okay. So Hantavirus is not a new virus. It's been around for decades and was first widely recognized in the U.S. during an outbreak in the Southwest in the early 90s. It's typically spread by rodents, especially through exposure through mouse droppings, urine, or saliva, and is usually enclosed in places like sheds, cabins, garages, barns, and dusty areas. Most strains of Hantavirus are not spread person to person, which is a major difference from the vid. However, the current concern involves a rare strain called the Andes Hantavirus, which in rare cases can spread between humans through prolonged close contact. Health experts say that it spreads far less easier than viruses like the flu or the vid. Symptoms include fever, muscle aches, fatigue, chills, and nausea. So then in severe cases, it can quickly become dangerous by affecting the lungs and breathing and sometimes turning into a life-threatening respiratory illness. In the United States, there have been about 890 confirmed cases since 93, making it very rare. It's suddenly in the news because there was a recent concern started aboard a cruise ship called MV Hantavirus, where passengers became sick during an international voyage. Health officials believe the outbreak may involve the Andes strain Hantavirus, which raised concerns because of its rare ability to spread through close human contact. So far, the outbreak has reportedly resulted in multiple illnesses and 3 deaths, prompting international monitoring. At first, the ship faced delays docking while health officials tried to figure out how to safely evacuate passengers. Countries began coordinating plans to bring citizens home and monitoring them. So there were 17 Americans aboard that ship. Now, as of today, those 17 Americans have officially been evacuated from the ship and are returning to the U.S. They disembarked in Spain and are being flown to Nebraska, home to the nation's specialized quarantine and biocontainment unit for evaluation and monitoring. I'm going to play some of the videos that I found for it. Let me do that. And then we can go into, let's see. I'm going to play this video first because they're saying that it's at 9 countries right here. Let's see. Add the stage. There we go. We'll listen again on this one.
The cruise ship linked to a deadly Hantavirus outbreak after arriving off the coast of the Canary Islands.
At least 17 Americans are among those that are being evacuated as officials race to keep the virus contained.
Chanley Painter here with the latest. Chanley.
Hey, good morning. So the 140 passengers on board the hantavirus-plagued MV Hondias are now disembarking in groups by nationality via small boats of up to 10 people. This after the cruise ship arrived in the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa a few hours ago. The World Health Organization is reassuring people on the island that there's no risk to the public, and Spanish health officials say the passengers all remain asymptomatic. While none of the current passengers have tested positive for the hantavirus, the outbreak did earlier kill 3 people on board, while several others tested positive. So now the remaining passengers and crew are leaving the ship after undergoing health screenings, and once off the ship, they will be bused to the airport for flights to their home country.
This is, again, not like COVID. We've handled outbreaks like this before. I think in 2018, there was an outbreak in the United States. My message to the American people is, please don't worry.
This is, again, a dynamic type of situation. And the goal is for all of the repatriation flights to take place on Sunday and Monday. We do know that there's a weather system that's coming in, and I think they want to do all of the repatriation before that comes through.
17 Americans on the ship will now be flown to Nebraska, where they will be monitored by a CDC team. And currently 6 states are monitoring cruise passengers who previously disembarked the ship. And the outbreak of the rodent-borne illness sparked global concern over a possible wider spread when the weeks-long Atlantic cruise spiraled into a nightmare after it departed Argentina in March. Authorities say an elderly Dutch couple carried the rare Andes strain of the virus after contracting it in Argentina last month while visiting a landfill overrun with trash, known for a pilgrimage point for bird watchers. Guys, back to you.
All right, Chanley.
Thank you, Chanley.
So basically over bird watching, this is all going down. People lost their lives over some bird watching. I'm going to play one more video that
his friends and family that he believed he was.
Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Let's see. Because it's, well, I got 2 more videos, but this one is a long one. I'm going to play the first part of
Selma, this cruise ship is expected to dock in the Canary Islands this weekend. What exactly is going to happen?
This is a really complicated and sensitive operation to get these passengers off the boat safely, of course, while also keeping them in isolation. It's something that the Spanish authorities have continued to address. There's even protests on the Canary Islands against the boat docking, so you can understand just how sensitive of an issue it is. Now, Spanish authorities say they have an ironclad system in place. It's going to be a closed circuit loop. There are medical facilities and medical personnel waiting to provide treatment to those who need it, waiting to provide any support that may be needed. They're going to have special entrances to enter those medical facilities that are specifically prepared for these passengers. They will all be seen, treated if they are needed to be treated. And then the other element to this, the part 2 of this, if you will, is repatriating those citizens to their individual countries. You have more than 20 different countries among more than 140 people. So Spanish authorities right now are speaking to each of these individual nations to figure out what their plans are for bringing their citizens home. Let me give you the UK as an example because they're monitoring several cases. They have 3 suspected cases right now that they're monitoring. One is in a hospital in Johannesburg, one is a hospital in the Netherlands, one is on an island, a remote island in the Atlantic, and then they're dealing with several other Britons who are.
So yeah, South Africa, Singapore, Switzerland, Netherlands, United Kingdom, France, Spain, United States, and Canada all have confirmed cases. Yeah, I'll do this last video, y'all.
Dr. Stephen Kornfeld, he's on board the Hantavirus hit cruise ship, and he has helped care for sick passengers. And Doctor, I very much appreciate your time. Of course, you're on that ship right now, and you started out just as a passenger, but you're a doctor. So when this started, you ended up helping treat people, including the ship's doctor. How did that happen?
It sort of happened gradually. I knew one of the passengers was getting ill. This was at the end of April, and I just reached out and asked if I could assist the doc, make sure he felt he had adequate coverage, and I was told that the doctor was also sick. So over 12 to 24 hours, it became clear that there were a number of people sick and that they were getting sicker. And I sort of fell into the role of becoming the ship doctor.
I know you treated the ship's doctor and that he was eventually, you were telling us, actually evacuated off the ship, which left you caring for other patients as well. I mean, can you describe the sorts of symptoms that you've seen, doctor?
Well, there were 3 patients that seemed to be getting ill around the same time. One of them, just very non-specific symptoms, a lot of confusion and a lot of weakness. And she ultimately passed away relatively quickly. The 2 other gentlemen, quite a bit younger, including the doc, just had a lot of standard viral symptoms, a lot of fever, fatigue, flushing, some GI issues, some shortness of breath. At the time, neither one of them looked critically ill, but the fear with hantavirus is you can go from seriously ill to critically ill very, very quickly.
You know, a woman yesterday who had survived hantavirus was telling us exactly that, doctor. She had sort of flu-like symptoms. Suddenly in her case, it was a cough as her lungs filled, and she ends up in a medically induced coma on life support. How concerned are you about the potential for things to escalate and for those patients, even now that some of them have been evacuated?
Well, when they're on the ship, I'm very concerned because the ability to treat somebody at that critical state here on this boat is non-existent. But now that they've been evacuated, they're in Denmark. I mean, they're getting magnificent care. Even if such an event happened, they would get supported. And I think what happens with hantavirus, ultimate survivability, is really dependent on your ability to get critical care at the right time.
So he said a word then. So to really, make sure you recover from this virus is to get that care as soon as possible. I did want to, I did do some research. These cruise ships, they go to some interesting places across the world. Where is I went to their website because they have several cruise ships that they do across the world. Let's see. It's called Ocean-Wide Expeditions. I'll share my screen. Let me see. Share this tab. I thought it was interesting if y'all want to see it. But they go to Antarctica. They go to Arctic, like Greenland, Iceland. They have combination cruises and everything. They experience wildlife, ski mountaineering, Greenland kayaking. I mean, they go some interesting places. People. They explore some nice places that your average person probably can't go. The prices are significant, I would say, but not out of reach when I looked at some of the prices. So it was interesting. This is the kind of expeditions they do go on those cruise ships. So yeah. But yeah, y'all. So that's it's sad that that's going on. So the 17 Americans, I got my notes, they're not confirmed to be infected. They're being monitored out of caution because they may have been exposed, of course. And the CDC says that there's no mandatory quarantine for asymptomatic people and the risk to the public remains very low. So people who may think that this might be another pandemic episode like the vid was, it's most likely not. Some Americans who left the ship earlier had already returned home to states including Georgia, Texas, Arizona, and California, and officials say they are being monitored but have not shown any symptoms. So the CDC and the World Health Organization have stressed that hantavirus is much harder to spread, far rarer, and doesn't move through communities the way the vid did. Experts say people should stay informed but not panic. So, but yeah, I just wanted to put that in there because it had been going on and I hadn't really talked about it. JoJo said, I don't know, but maybe this is why Black people always rinse things off. Yeah, I rinse my soda cans off and anything that, wash your meat, all that. Supermax said they what embarked slow down. Thank you, Supermax. Joe Jett said that's horrible. Trying to enjoy yourself and lose your health or your life. I know. They never thought, that would be their last day on earth. Or get sick behind it anyway. So I'm gonna move on to my hometown rain. I got an interesting story for my hometown rain. Yeah, so on my hometown rain, y'all, this is crazy. So I'm gonna bring it a little closer to home because for tonight, hometown rain, we're talking about a story that has a lot of people in Columbus, Georgia, raising their eyebrows and honestly hurting the little kids involved. A former Pioneer Little League treasurer is now under arrest after police say that nearly $80,000, yes, $80,000, allegedly went missing from an organization built to support local children and youth baseball. According to reports, 35-year-old Craig Norris was arrested following a financial investigation into the league. Authorities say the money reportedly disappeared from Pioneer Little League, which operates out of David Park in Columbus. Britt David Park in Columbus. Now, here's where the story takes another turn. So the league officials reportedly noticed something wasn't adding up back in January before the season even kicked off. They say registration numbers through their online system weren't matching the money that was coming in, and that's what triggered their concern. Police launched an investigation, and that investigation ultimately led to charges of theft by taking and financial fraud. Norris was reportedly given a $30,000 bond and is expected back in court this past Friday, but it got pushed over to this week coming up. After requesting time to retain an attorney, he has not entered a plea at this time. Now, one thing the league leadership made very clear is this: despite the alleged financial loss, they say the season itself was not impacted and the kids still got to play ball. Sponsors, families, and league operations reportedly continue without interruption. I'm gonna play the video with that one.
Arrested tonight, accused of stealing nearly 80,000.
Meantime,
in Columbus.
Hold on, y'all.
Police say a former Pioneer Little League treasurer is under arrest tonight, accused of stealing nearly $80,000 that was meant for local kids in their season on the field. Craig Norris was in recorder's court earlier today, and News Leader 9's Amaya Graham was in court, joins us now back in our newsroom. Amaya, so how did Craig answer to those charges he's facing?
Well, Jason, Craig did not enter a plea today as his case was continued until Friday at 1:30 to allow him time to retain an attorney. I spoke with the Pioneer Little League president earlier today, who tells me they are highly disappointed in what they are alleging took place.
Playing ball this season, but behind the scenes, Pioneer Little League, located at Britt David Park, is dealing with a financial nightmare. Columbus police arrested the league's treasurer, 35-year-old Craig Norris, after investigation revealed nearly $80,000 had gone missing from the organization. The league says it first noticed something was wrong before the season kicked off back in January.
I had a previous conversation with the vice president of my league that certain numbers over Sports Connect that we use to help register the kids online, the money wasn't adding up.
The league reported the discrepancy to Columbus police, who launched a formal investigation. That investigation led to the treasurer's arrest on charges of theft by taking and financial fraud. Norris was issued a $30,000 bond, $10,000 for theft and $20,000 for fraud. He's scheduled to be back in court this Friday at 1:30. Despite the financial blow, the league says the season was not derailed.
His crimes did not impact the season. They did not. So if any of the sponsors or people that knew for this season, it didn't affect anything that happened this season. Anything that happened was before.
Nearly $80,000 is a significant loss for a community youth organization, but league leadership says they are committed to accountability and moving forward.
But we will be fully transparent. If anybody has any questions, feel free to come up and ask. We'll just in making sure that at the end of the day that we pursue this to the fullest.
Now, Columbus police have not released additional details on the investigation at this time. The president of Pioneer Little League has sent a full timeline of the investigation. You can find that on our website, WTVM.com, and on our mobile app.
Yeah. Stealing from the babies. Can't steal from the babies. So, gotta be real, It's not just about money, it's about trust. When people donate, sponsor, volunteer, and support youth organizations, they're doing it because they believe in giving kids opportunity, safe spaces, teamwork, mentorship, structure, and community. Anytime allegations like this surface, it impacts more than a bank account. It shakes confidence. And I will say this, as when it comes to like community organizations, especially ones involving children, transparency matters, accountability matters, because these parents are trusting that what's being poured into these programs are actually making it back to the kids. Now, of course, these are allegations and everyone deserves due process, but this is definitely a story that I'll keep my eyes on and bring you updates as things occur. So do situations like this make people less likely to trust youth organizations, or should communities rally together and rebuild? So y'all let me know in the chat. Let's see. Now, I will say this. I was a teen mom and a family advocate for my son's football team, and there was a lot of exchange of money and exchange. Anytime any parents donated or anytime I exchanged money with the parents, I made sure I wrote it down. So you got some people that are good note takers and good record keepers, and some people who aren't. Now, this guy allegedly was swiping the card. I think the card that went to the Little League, that he was allegedly swiping that card, and he was just spending money like it was his. Supermax said cruise ship make bad moves, just saying. Joe just said Columbus C note Craig, triple C on the streets, $1 for the league and 20 for me. Joe just said that type of stuff can set a community back. Trust is sacred. Absolutely. Stealing from kids and the elderly society. Oh, yeah. Joe just said absolutely rebuild to show that bad apples exist, but the majority operate in good faith. Amen to that. I appreciate you, Joe Jet and Super Mac in here, been in here with me, talking back to me. And I'm gonna move on to my last segment. Y'all know it is Mother's Day. So my last segment is the Soul Reset. And with my Soul Reset, let me take this comment down. With my Soul Reset, I just wanted to talk to the mothers for a minute. I didn't want to bring anything up. Mother's Day is beautiful. If we're being honest, a lot of women, it can also be heavy. For a lot of women, it can also be heavy because behind the flowers, the brunches, and the social media posts, there are mothers who are tired, mothers who are doing it alone, mothers who are carrying households, emotions, bills, heartbreak, healing, and somehow still showing up with a smile. There are mothers who are grieving children grieving mothers, women praying to become mothers, and mothers wondering if they're doing enough. So today, this Soul Reset is all for you. It's for all of you. So let me tell you something that nobody told you lately. You are doing better than you think. The meals you made, the tears you hid, the nights you stayed awake worried, the sacrifices nobody saw, the way you kept showing up, even when you needed somebody to show up for you, that matters. And sometimes motherhood feels thankless. Sometimes the people you love don't always understand the weight you carry. But hear me when I say this, your love is shaping lives in ways you may not even see yet. One day, those lessons, those prayers, those talks in the car, those moments you felt unnoticed will become somebody's strength. And to my single mothers especially, woo, I am you and I see you. The women who had to become the nurturer, the protector, provider, comforter, and problem solver all at once. The women who lead the household because they have to and sometimes somehow still find softness. You deserve flowers too. You deserve rest too. And you deserve love too. So today, I want you to give yourself permission to pause. Not guilt, not pressure, not comparison, just grace. Because motherhood was never about perfection, it was always about love. And if nobody celebrates you today, know that this space does. I celebrate your strength, your sacrifices, your resilience, and most importantly, your heart. Because whether anybody said it today or not, you matter. You are loved, and this world is better because you kept showing up. So happy Mother's Day to all the baby's mamas, the baby mama mamas, and the baby mama mamas. And remember, sometimes the strongest thing a woman can do is keep pouring love into others while learning to save a little for herself too. So take a deep breath for me, ladies, and adjust that crown. I'm sending love to every mother, every grandmother, every bonus mom, every woman standing in the gap today. This has been your soul reset. Yeah, y'all. Oh, there it is, y'all. There it is, y'all. Supermax said both. Joe just said happy Mother's Day. And International Skull said happy Mother's Day. I appreciate y'all fellas being in here with me tonight. This has been the weekly rain report. Let me make sure I close out all my stuff and I don't have nothing else for you. I don't think I do, but yeah, I'm gonna close everything out. Yeah. Y'all got anything else for me before I get off of here? Oh, let me do this before I close out. I'm sorry. I am Raw Society's Coalition's first lady. I don't have that image on this, and I meant to put it on here, and I did not. Y'all, I didn't put it on here. I am part of the Raw Society Coalition. We 5 people, content creators who form together like Voltron. I am Soft Rain. There is also Souls of Thought, Classic Codes. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna show y'all exactly where to find us. Let's see. Let me pull it up. If y'all go to, y'all could just type in Raw Society Coalition. Actually, let me share my screen. Boom. Let me put it up so y'all can see it. Boom, there it is. Y'all go to the Raw Society Coalition and click on the page, and then y'all hit more over here. It's gonna pop up all our links. The founder, Souls of Thought, Classic Codes, Soft Rain, the Ted's Down, Uncle Plug TV, and our Discord. I think I might need to update the Discord link. But that's everybody's page. Earlier today, Souls and Plug, they had a great sports segment, 1181. And then Souls and Classic had an awesome Sunday service. Y'all need to go back over there to their pages and watch that if you have not, especially if you're a young man. Great gems were dropped today on that show. But yeah, y'all can and then y'all can catch me tomorrow night on Souls of Thought page. We have the No Middleman panel. along with me, Souls, and Uncle Plug. Y'all can catch us tomorrow night about 9:30 Eastern. We'll be there. But yeah, this is where you can go find all of our links. Just go to the Raw Society Coalition page and then hit more, where it says more about this channel, and all of our links will pop up right there. Boom. All of them. Pop up right there. Man, if I make it smaller, will it make, oh yeah, there it is. There it goes. Sure will. That's all of us right there on that page, on the Raw Society Coalition page. You go to that page, boom, hit more, and you'll find all of us right there. Make sure y'all subscribe, of course, and share it. And fellas, Super Matt, Joe Jet, Skull, if y'all know any ladies who might be interested in my content, please send them my page. Tell them to subscribe. I'll be looking for my ladies to call in on Thursday nights. Y'all can catch me on Thursday nights for my live call-in show about 8:30-ish Eastern time. I'm trying to go earlier on Thursdays. So yeah, Joe Jet, Super Mac, and Skull, if y'all got any, y'all in here now watching, if y'all got any ladies, that send them my page. Tell them come see me and come talk to me on Thursday nights. I need more ladies. All the fellas be in there, but I need some ladies. Yeah, some ladies for real, for real. So I appreciate y'all being here on this wonderful Sunday. It is Mother's Day. I wasn't expecting a lot of people to be in because they're probably hanging out with their mothers or reflecting on Mother's Day and whatnot, and I really appreciate that too. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. So that was tonight's weekly rain report. From the headlines to the hard conversations, from what's happening around the country to what's happening right here at home. I hope I gave y'all something to think about, because around here, it's never just about the story. It's about the people behind it, the lessons inside it, and the conversations we sometimes avoid having. If something tonight spoke to you, challenged you, or made you think a little deeper, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who appreciates real conversation and real perspective. And also, if you're catching this on a rewatch, make sure you comment, because I talk back. Before I go, make sure you take care of yourselves this week. Protect your peace. Lead with grace. Give yourself permission to reset when life feels heavy. And remember, your voice matters, your story matters, and how you show up in this world matters too. So this has been the Weekly Rain Report. Until next time, I am Soft Rain. And as always, adjust your crown, protect your peace, and I'll see you next week.
Soft rain. Real talk, no filter, no disguise. Every headline, I'm breaking it live. From the streets to the pressure up top. We see it all, yeah, we connect the dots. Weekly rain, yeah, we run it down. Truth hit different when it wear a crown. No fluff, no cap, just facts in sight. Welcome to the Weekly Rain Report. Let's get into it tonight.